Good afternoon, Marshall County. We are live from Senator Reeves' office in Nashville, Tennessee, of course, in our capital. And he's going to share some of the things that is coming up in the session as we begin, and some of the things that are going on. And Senator Reeves, thank you so much for sitting down with me and for talking to our Marshall County Republicans. I appreciate your time today.
You're sure welcome. Julie, I appreciate you. Marshall County Republicans, I appreciate you so very much. I appreciate your support of my re-election campaign back this past November. 2020 has been a crazy year for all of us. I know we're all sick to death of wearing masks and hand sanitizers and washing our hands. But I'll tell you, appreciate your support, and I appreciate your support for President Trump. To this day, without question, the rally you had in Marshall County was epic. It was just epic when I was driving down there to that and just saw the cars after cars and the people. I mean, some people I'd never seen before in my life that showed up for that. So it just shows how organized you are and how passionate you are for our president, and I appreciate that very much. So Julie, thank you for letting me say a few words today.
Absolutely.
So let me say a couple of words of encouragement first. Can I do that?
Absolutely. We'd love to hear that.
President Trump got more done in 4 years than I think FDR got done in 4 terms. He got so much done in those 4 years, and I was looking at that this morning. 3 Supreme Court justices, over 200 judges, qualified judges nationwide. He approved the Keystone Pipeline. He got us out of the Iran nuclear deal. He got us out of the Paris climate agreements. He moved the American embassy to Jerusalem. The Dow and all the economic measures, every single economic measure were record highs. Replaced NAFTA with job-friendly USMCA, and I could go on. I built 400 miles of a border wall, combated the opiate epidemic, and I've got 20 more things I could tell you. And the Operation Warp Speed that he's done on vaccine, which Biden's going to take a lot of credit for. Trump is to be applauded for that. That was heroic, and I do believe history will show the public-private partnerships that Trump got in place for the vaccines to get in place will end up making a big difference in the long run. So I'm proud of our president. He got a lot done. We're all terribly, terribly disappointed with the way things ended up going in November. More so than even the loss, which was a terrible thing, was how he lost, because of so much questions around election integrity. To save my life, I don't understand why in the world that President Biden would want to be president under those circumstances as well. I mean, if you feel like 75 million people voted for Trump that did not vote for you, and 3/4 of those folks, if not more, definitely felt like the election was stolen or there was some fraudulent efforts in place, why would you not want to get that cleared up before becoming president? So all the wonderful patriots that went to Washington on January 6th, like our chairman, chair lady.
Well, my husband and son were there, and they told me about it. Of course, they weren't in the Capitol. Let's make that clear. Right. Let's make that clear. But they got there very early and enjoyed listening to Vernon Jones, President Trump, all these speakers, and listened to his full speech before they marched up. So peacefully and just to stand for election integrity. So let's make that clear.
That's what it's about. It was about election integrity, which was the right thing to do. It's like, let's take a couple of weeks. Let's make absolute certain that all the T's are crossed and the I's are dotted before we swear Joe Biden in as president. Seemed very, very, very reasonable. But it didn't happen. I get asked real often why, other than taking the election integrity situation off the table, why do I think that Trump ended up losing? And again, assuming he did lose. And I really come down to 3 things. One is COVID just wreaked havoc on Trump. This time last year, which right now it's like February, we're doing this in February, all the polling behind the scenes, Trump was going to win in a massive, massive landslide in 2020. But COVID hit, and he immediately started getting blamed for that, which in turn, the COVID required all these election law changes across the country. Sitting here with you today, I'm just as convinced as I've ever been that the mail order, sending the mail ballots to the home and mandating to be done like that, it's no telling how many hundreds of thousands of tens of thousands of votes. Are we having a problem?
No, sir. I just realized that I'm live streaming on my personal Facebook page, and I will get it over to Marshall County County's page. So remember, I'm an amateur tech person. I'm an amateur photographer. So I will definitely get it over. So that's why you saw that funny look come on my face.
Okay,
but everyone will hear from you. I promise.
We need to do it again. We'll do it again because I'm rambling here.
Well, that's your choice. But no, it's live. I couldn't figure it out. But no, we are live. We're just on my personal page by accident.
Well, I appreciate you coming up here and doing this. So I said the COVID, and in turn the election laws that were changed around the country because of COVID. And then the third thing is Trump has just been at war with a relentless left-leaning media and these tech giants for years, and they just will not get off the man's back. And no matter what he did, no matter what he said, it was never good enough. So between those three things, and then Trump occasionally, speaking his mind so openly, all those things kind of coming together, cost him that election. At least on paper, it cost him an election. I hope he runs again, to be right honest with you. Hope he runs again. I hope he's encouraged. But I'll tell you, some things we're going to have to get done in this country. I'm 53 years old, and I'll tell you, in my short time of being around elections, it always swings back and forth. You go from Reagan and Bush to Clinton, and from Clinton back to George W., and from George W. to Obama, and Obama to Trump, and then Trump to Biden. It will swing back. And two things that I think are going to happen on a state level and on a federal level. Number one, there are going to be some significant election integrity laws passed around the country. Over 200 laws have already been filed around the country right now. The Republicans have like 33 state.
It's fantastic.
33 state general assemblies and governor's houses. Those laws are going to get passed. Georgia, which we just had the situation with the 2 U.S. senators, the laws are passing and they are very aggressive. So we're going to have some election integrity laws that are going to get passed, which will make a big difference. And the second set of laws that are going to get passed, and I wish I could speak to you more articulately about this because I haven't read it yet, is just the censoring. When Trump gets kicked off of Twitter and Instagram and Facebook, Focus on the Family gets kicked off all the social media sites. I mean, we live in the United States of America. I should have every right in this world to be able to speak my mind under my constitutional and First Amendment rights, just like Senate Minority Leader Jeff Yarborough, the Democrat, should have every right to say what he wants to say too. We don't agree on anything, but I will fight for his right to speak, and he should fight for my right to speak. So there is censoring legislation that's being introduced all over the country. In Tennessee, the chairman of the Judiciary Committee, Mike Bell, is introducing aggressive legislation in the Senate right now. And I haven't seen all the details, but bottom line, it's going to put more teeth in it. So that if Julie Kwan gets censored, she suddenly will have some very strong legal recourse to take on Facebook, to take on Twitter, to take on Instagram, LinkedIn, whomever is challenging her. So here's my take. The pendulums will swing back between the election integrity laws and between the censoring. That's two good things that are going to come out of all this. Let's just hope that Biden doesn't wreck the country in the next 24 months, that we have enough individuals in the House and Senate that will push back to be able to at least have some kind of reasonableness so that not too much damage has been done, because it seems to me that he had to make a decision. Is he going to go big or is he going to go bipartisan? Well, it's apparent to me he's going to go big. He's signing doing his executive orders as quick as he can and unwinding everything that Donald Trump did as quickly as he can possibly do it. So all that being said, I'm optimistic. In 24 months, here's what I tell my kids. I have 3 kids. I have a 21-year-old son who is in Harding University over in Searcy, Arkansas. I have an 18-year-old son that's going to be graduating this coming May, Lord willing. And I have a 13-year-old daughter. And I was talking about around the holidays, and I said, in the long run, the 3 C's have always kind of held America together. It's Christianity. We've always been a country that faith was important to everyone, and we had a set of values that people could rally around. The second thing is the second C is the Constitution. First Amendment, Second Amendment, Bill of Rights, our Constitution was a document that everybody could rally around. And the third C is capitalism. I mean, we live in a country where we believe that the American dream can always be pursued. So I think as long as those three things continue to be the mantra for the majority of Americans, we'll be okay. We're always going to have people on the extremes that want to destroy all of that, but I believe they're on the extremes. I really, really think they're on the extremes. The everything that happened at the Capitol a couple of weeks ago with all the insurrectionists, that was not the majority of the people that were there. You know, there were, like I said, there were hundreds of thousands of people there that were peaceful, good, God-loving, flag-waving, Constitution-supporting people that were there that simply said, let's make sure the election's right. You know, the small handful of people that were in the Capitol, many that were not Republicans, are not interested in those three C's. Not to the level that I think I just said. So anyway, be hopeful and be optimistic, Marshall County. You've got a wonderful leader in Julie, who drove all the way down here to come see me here in the state senate today. We've had a busy couple of weeks already since session started. We passed a Medicaid block grant right out of the gates, which is going to provide us a lot more flexibility with the TennCare program. We had a special session on education, which was going to do a number of things involving dealing with some lost learning issues, some literacy support, trying to continue to support our teachers. And then as far as I'm concerned, today is actually, what is today's date, Julie?
The 8th, February the 8th.
February 8th. So today is literally the first day of session. Governor Lee's going to be doing his State of the State tonight. I don't even know what he's going to say yet. There's the budget.
Oh,
there we go.
it's a big book.
There we go.
Wow.
There's our budget. I haven't even looked at it at this point because I just got it like an hour ago. But today's the State of the State, and then I know that I'm going to be carrying about 35 bills.
Wow, that's a busy session.
It is. I'm on commerce. I'm on commerce and labor, which is business and banking and insurance. I'm on healthcare because my background. I'm a pharmacist. For all of you who don't know that, I'm a pharmacist. I'm a healthcare background, and I'm on ag. So that's really my three committees that I'm on, and they really align with the things that I care about. So my 35 bills, they all kind of file in that space. But all that being said, I get asked real often about what part of this job do I enjoy the most, and it is the service side. I could tell you story after story after story of the service side of being able to make phone calls and help people in Rutherford, Bedford, Marshall, Moore, Lincoln counties, help families, help businesses, help churches, help teachers. Just being a liaison, connecting with the government, whatever it might be, different departments, unemployment, TennCare, Tennessee Department of Transportation, help them solve problems. I really, really am blessed by the service side. The legislative side of things, if I'm going to carry bills, then I'm going to carry bills around topics I care about and I know about, and I have a lot of those I'm working on. So I look forward to being down there with you in Marshall County face-to-face, hopefully in the next month or two, to kind of give you an update on session and let you ask me some questions. So, Julie, I've been rambling.
Well, no, that's been great. I don't know if you have any top things that are coming up. I know that Todd Warner spoke with us last week via the same way, and he mentioned a Second Amendment bill that was coming through to strengthen our Second Amendment here in Tennessee. Right. And I guess he's one of the representatives in your same district. And is that one that we just have a couple more minutes here? Right. Is that one that is part of something that you're sponsoring?
Yes. So what's going to happen is the governor, I'm saying this, I haven't seen the State of the State yet, so it doesn't happen tonight, y'all hold me to it, but apparently the governor is going to be introducing his own version of
I see. Okay.
And at that
That's
point,
big news.
That's what I'm being told.
Okay.
So he's going to introduce his own version of that bill tonight. So you heard it first, right here at Marshall County, and which in turn will trump every other bill that gets carried. And yes, I will be signing on to that one.
Well, that sounds fantastic. And I know some of the other issues that have been coming up are the vaccines. Many people are glad to have them, but some people have health concerns or religious concerns and so forth. Sure. Do you think Tennessee is going to have, with your pharmacy background, I know this is up your alley, are we going to have the mandated vaccines in Tennessee?
They will absolutely not be mandated.
Oh, okay.
They will not be mandated.
So we're happy they're available, but they're not mandated.
And I feel strongly that if you have religious exemptions, religious issues with it, you will not be mandated to have it at all.
Okay.
I just do not see
The
those
way that
things happening.
we have our exclusions
Just
right
like,
now,
just like they are right this
currently.
minute.
Okay, well that's good.
I suspect both of those things will happen. You know, putting my pharmacist hat on for a minute, I mean, all of the numbers are moving in the right direction.
It's good.
Hospitalizations are down, herd immunity's up. I believe by Easter, we will be at a much, much better place in the state of Tennessee as far as this whole COVID mess has been, but it's been quite the year. But
Yes.
you know, as far as the vaccine's concerned, I think if you want to get it, get it. If you don't want to get it, don't get it. If you're over 70 or you have comorbidities of any kind, I'll tell you, as a pharmacist, I would recommend you do that. But
Yes, sir.
at the end of the day, you do what you feel comfortable with.
Well, Senator Reeves, thank you so much. I can tell by walking in your office, it's a super busy time. So I even appreciate you sitting down with us even more. I look forward to you coming. I heard you while you were talking say that you're coming to our county, hopefully, in the next month or two. So I look forward to making those plans. Thank you so much for sitting down with us today, sir.
Bless you. Thank you.